Hill, it's your boy Black Wolf, and today, I'd like to get personal. You will fail. Keep that quote in mind and how that negative perspective helped shape why I'm doing this love letter to DE and Warframe. The year was 2014, and I was a bit of a young, naive lad, freshman in high school. And even though I didn't own a PC at the time, I had heard of a free-to-play game that was science fiction, and if you know me in real life, you know I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. So, when the game launched in April of 2014 for the Xbox, I was one of the few that had dared to take up the challenge. I was instantly hooked. Warframe in the beginning days was rough to say the least, but as the game went on, something magical happened. A community. The people that had supported Warframe from the beginning saw potential in the game and refused to let it die. And so, the story of DE and Warframe was born.
Arthur? Tenno. Forgive me. I need Lloyd to understand why I had to leave without him. Why I forced him to destroy the device after I had gone. And why I could never say the words he so needed to hear. I had remained in the Deimos laboratory. Lloyd would never have been safe from him. You know of what I speak. And so I retreated to the only place in history where that entity could not easily follow, to draw his greedy eye away from Lloyd. Oh? I require your trust. Craft the little curio whose blueprints you will find in the computer's memory. Complete the Kalimos sequence. Repair. Rebuild. When the time is right, find me.
Digital Extremes, to the uninitiated or those who simply don't know, is a Canadian company founded by James Schmaltz, I believe. I might be mispronouncing his name, but it's a Canadian studio, and they are behind some of the greatest games that has ever graced this earth. My favorite being Gears of War. But somewhere along the way, they ended up splitting from their publisher and becoming their own independent company. And being an independent small studio is no easy task. They took on contracts after contracts, barely able to keep the lights on. And with their back pressed against the wall, they decided to send their passion project known as Dark Sector. And through refinement, through struggle, through being told multiple times that you will fail from every single major publisher that they went up to, they were told science fiction does not sell. Quite frankly, I believe these guys are stupid. Terminator, Star Wars, they're selling great, but what do I know? I digress. But the team locked in. Their backs pressed to the wall, they locked in. They decided in 2013 that they were going to go the free-to-play route and launch Warframe. And something magical happened. Something unheard of. A community was born. And this community helped me as a young high schooler with barely any real friends in my life. Helped me connect with people that understood me for me. And so I stuck it out. And man, I'm glad I did, because I was able to witness this game evolve into something titanic.
Cognition algorithms fail to prove
the resilience of DE needs to be studied. And I mean that, because these guys did, quite frankly, the impossible. In a world where everyone just follows suits, everyone just sticks to what works, and very few people dare to be different, Digital Extremes did the impossible. Against all odds, against all grain, against every single criticism, being told over and over again, you guys will fail. You're nothing but a failure in this space. They took that criticism and refused to lament it. They trusted in their art, trusted in their studio, trusted in one another, came together to give us one of the greatest games the world has ever known.
Eleanor!
She's just in the back collecting.
Making sure that you are still you.
Of course we are. You can be too.
After high school, I graduated and decided to join the military. Fast forward, lack of better terms, I was discharged from the military and came back into civilian life. I ended up getting generally discharged. I was a pretty problematic child. And when I came back to civilian life, I found out that most of my high school friends had moved on with their lives, barely able to check up on me or anything like that. So I'm somebody that values connection. I don't take my connection lightly. For those of you that know me, you will know I would literally die for anyone I consider a friend. That's not hyperbolic. It's just who I am, for better or worse. So, having gone through that, I became very bitter that the world had moved on without me. And I did not know how to express that in a healthy manner. So, I retreated from the world. And I came back to Warframe. And I was reminded about the importance of community, because this game is strongly built off of that. I cannot stress enough, guys, how good it feels to have a community in your corner when you're going through things. Coming back to Warframe has taught me the importance of maintaining those connections that matters to you in your life. Through old friends who I used to play with, seeing my gamer tag come back up. And these are friends who have played Warframe with me throughout the inception of Warframe. And having the gang reunite because they see that I'm active. And some of these friends, they never stopped playing. I stopped playing Warframe because I went out into the real world to try to find my own way. And I would like to say I failed miserably at that. Within my early 20s, I was misguided. I was trying to find my purpose in this world. And without guidance, you tend to stray far from who you really are, trying to please people. But after failing, I came back to Warframe and, I reconnected with those old folks of mine. And that nostalgic feeling, that feeling of belonging, that feeling of having people there that really care, it rekindled a hope in my heart that I lost. And I know it sounds crazy. I know to some people who are hearing this, they're gonna think, oh, this guy is an adult playing video games, and completely dismiss the message that I'm trying to say. And I guess that's okay. But for those who are actually listening, for those who are actually paying attention, Warframe has helped nurture me back into the hopeful version of me that I had buried away all those years ago.
See you soon, Mama.
Digital Extremes, throughout the years, has done something miraculous. In a world where capital comes over all, where studios are willing to sacrifice their dignity for profit, Digital Extremes did not do that. They understood what made the game special. They understood that without their community, they would have failed 10 times over. And as a result, they stick to the merit of putting the community first. And the fruit is within the labor. While other gaming studios that had capital came and went because they failed to understand the community, the player base. You see it with Destiny. You see it with a lot of AAA games out there nowadays. You let your player base down, and eventually they will have enough and walk away. No amount of capital is worth your dignity, in my opinion. And thank you, Digital Extreme, for constantly being there. This is a studio that gets involved in their community, guys. They have something called a TennoCon, which is like an anime convention type of thing, except for Warframe players, where you can travel and meet up with real life people. These guys cosplay as their favorite Warframe. The community is strong. It's resilient. It's wonderful. In other games that I branched out to, I see a lot of toxicity within those community, a lot of gatekeeping within those community. If you're a new player and you just want to enjoy the game, the community in other games, they tend to ostracize you for daring to be different, right? If you're not playing the game a certain way, they tend to get mad or hostile. They tend to look at you as a fraudulent player, and as a result, you feel judged when you're just trying to look for an escape. You feel like you don't belong when you're just trying to enjoy something. And that is a negative experience, no matter how you want to look at it. The gaming world can be hostile. The gaming world is a reflection of our real life. People who are dealing with actual problems tend to bring those problems into this escapism. But Digital Extreme and Warframe, their community has always been loving, caring, one that's friendly towards newer players, even going as far as to implement a whole new tutorial designed catering to new players. The developers go out of their way to host Twitch streaming, where they answered real life questions. They listen to players in real time, listen to their grievances, listen to their feedbacks, and they adjust accordingly. And as a result, this creates a dynamic between players and developers. This creates a trust, a bond that's unshakable. I've witnessed time and time again the result of this labor. Here's the part where I give special shout out to MK Enigma, special shout out to It's Me Mario, special shout out to Richmond 46. These are players that have stuck it out with me since the very beginning, all the way back when we were kids. And now we're all adults with jobs, with bills. Life has branched out. We've branched out with life to try to grow up in this world. Oftentimes that can be confusing. Without the proper guidance, that can be even scary. But coming back to Warframe and reconnecting with these guys, it feels like we were just children again, reminiscing about a time long lost. And the development of DE has grown with me. I've witnessed this game at its highest and at its lowest, and back to its highest again. And it's that resilience, that trust, that communication that DE has with its player base that keeps this game always feeling fresh. If I were to tell you this is over a decade old, free-to-play game, you would not believe me. There's a lot of AAA games that wish they had the trajectory that Warframe has. But that trajectory came at a lot of failures. DE had to fail time and time again, and they did not give up. They kept going. That was a lesson I could relate to in life. Times where I wanted to give up. Times where I wanted to just call it quits. But I believed in myself, and I believed in my vision. While the world and everyone around me is telling me, hey, you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. I walked in and decided to choose happiness over pleasing others. Things that make me happy. Things that interest me. Things that I want to do. It took me a while to get to this point in life where I am shameless about who I am and what I want.
We have one less cruise ship.
It took a lot of
Direct attention
adversity, and I'm not special. I'm not saying this to say I'm special or that I'm looking for brownie points or anything like that. I'm simply exposing my heart in hopes that somebody out there can relate, in hopes that I can connect with someone out there who loves video games, who uses video games as an escape from the reality to recalibrate from the pressure of the world. I'm saying this to be vulnerable, in the sense that there's someone out there going through the same thing. Not exactly what I went through, but the struggles of life, and they can relate.
I was too slow.
It's okay to form bonds. It's never too late to reconnect. It's never too late to make amends. And that is a journey that I'm currently on in life. I've grown, I've matured. Playing Warframe has helped me reach out to individuals in my life that I ended up cutting ties with because I was going through things and I did not want them to see me suffer. But in that mindset, I was wrong. No one person can endure the hardship of the world. There's a saying where I'm from West Africa, if you're not aware. It takes a village to lift a child up. In that sense, it takes a community to build a person up. I was able to find a community within Warframe. Constantly. They were always there. From the randos that I load with, to the friends that were there from the beginning. Truly, Digital Extremes has built themselves something unique, and it stands out within the gaming space. This is a space that is welcoming. This is a space where they hold each other accountable. When hate is shown, most people in the community shut that down right away. This is a pretty diverse group of gamers. I've played with people from around the world, and they're always caring, they're always nurturing. Whenever you go to the relay, people are blessing you with gifts. It's something that you don't see in other games, and it's a breath of fresh air within the gaming space to see something stay true, stay pure to its identity. To see a gaming studio not abuse the trust that they have with their player base. To see them actually interact with their player base and not abuse that trust is rewarding. To see them mature as I've matured is rewarding.
We're not gonna make it, man.
Maybe we cut our losses like we should have done weeks ago.
What's he talking about, Marty?
I told you this was a setup!
I can't. Elena is the first to die.
She's in the back.
So thank you, Digital Extremes. Thank you for everything you've done throughout the years. Thank you for believing in yourself. Thank you for crafting this wonderful game. Thank you for giving me a space that I could go to and retreat from the world when things get hard. And thank you for writing such a beautiful story, dude. I can't stress enough, man. This shit is excellent. And
Eleanor.
I'm just nerding out here, guys. You know, like, it's good to reflect. I'm trying to blast Eleanor because I know she's about to go haywire. But in all seriousness, thank you, Digital Extremes, and thank you to the Warframe community for staying true to what makes the game special. This is a love letter. It took me a while to put together. I had to really gather my thoughts and reflect on my life to put this together in the way that I did. And I hope somebody out there watching gains some form of either entertainment, resolve, or something to extract that they can apply to their life and how they view gaming. It's very easy as us gamers to just engage in the game and not stop to reflect that there's an actual team of people behind this. What is their vision? Why are they doing this? What purpose? That's just how my brain works, guys. I'm weird, you know. But at the end of the day, I hope this video give us gamers an insight of appreciating these games. These are real life people behind the making of these games. And oftentimes these people come from humble beginnings. They struggle to get to a point where they can give you their vision so that we the gamers can be entertained. I hope next time you turn on your favorite game, you can stop and reflect and think and just appreciate it for what it is. I hope I could do that for you. Thank you for giving me your time today. Thank you for giving me your energy. It won't be taken for granted. Guys, this has been quite the journey, quite the reflective process. So, thank you. That's all I could say.
Eleanor!
She sent us back tonight.
Making sure that you are still you.
Of course we are. You can be too.
Eleanor, only here to help. It's up to you.
Full disclosure, this is metal as hell. Shorty bit off her own tongue to save her friend.
Eleanor! Eleanor!
I'm here.
Go! I've got this.
Yeah, I do. Not today, Mama.
Area secure. Godspeed, Amir.
No, at times the weight of the world can seem immeasurable. I think one must picture Oedipus happy.
Your heart would struggle to lose them. It had to grow. The only way it ever does. With others. Carry this power with mercy, Tenno.
Hell. Tenno. That was a corny exit, but I'm keeping it. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for, if you sticked it out this long, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Black Wolf, and I'm out. Peace.